Hey, welcome back. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. Today I want to hit you up with a little Q&A. That's right, a question and answer session. This week what I got was a question from a woman. Is he seeing other women? She wrote into me and said, Carlos, I've been dating this guy for about 4 months now, and lately I've been wondering about him. I got home from my yoga class a few nights ago and he was on the computer, but he got off really quickly. Then when I asked him what he was doing, he said he was watching YouTube videos. Well, a few weeks before that, I noticed he's been on his cell phone a lot more lately. He's still nice to me and we're still romantic in the bedroom, but things have kind of slowed down. And he doesn't talk as much, so I'm worried he might be seeing other women. What do you think? Could he be cheating on me? From Maggie H. Well, let me tell you, Maggie, I can see how you might be confused and probably very fearful at the moment. The prospect of having your boyfriend possibly kind of straying from your relationship is one that must weigh really heavily on you, especially when you look at the clues that he's leaving behind. The real confusing and heartbreaking part is when he says he isn't seeing anybody else, but you suspect the opposite might be true. So you flip-flop back and forth, starting to doubt your own perception, right? Because he's so convincing when he says, no, honey, really. After all, you don't want to believe he could be leaving you for another woman. Before I say whether or not he is, I want to show you some of the signs he's seeing other women, and let's see how these match up to your experience and what you see in your relationship. Sign number 1 that he's seeing other women is he's getting secret agent on you. Yeah, I hate to start out on this note, but if he's getting more secretive and dismissive about his activities, this is usually a good indicator that he's not becoming more in love with you. The natural progression of a loving, deep relationship is that we become more trusting of our partner, not less. We negotiate the challenges and we become more trusting of the connection that's between us. You see it happen in every good relationship, every single one. And the fact is that most of us experience the opposite in our relationships. The closeness turns to distance. The trust turns into suspicion. The communication turns into silence. So when you see him starting to act dodgy, not telling you the whole story, or not even being open enough to share it, you gotta know that something is going on here, and it might not always be infidelity either. In fact, if all you're concerned with is if he's seeing somebody else, you're actually missing the point. The thing that should weigh the heaviest on you is that the little stuff that got you here wasn't handled when it should have been. Sign number 2, he's keeping his options open. He's not changing his social media to include you. This one is a pretty big signal. It's pretty annoying because you almost want to believe him when he tells you why he hasn't changed his status there, right? Oh, I just haven't gotten around to it. It's not that important. I forgot. What's the big deal? The last one is really dangerous because he's almost trying to push it off on you, right? He's trying to push you back. What's the big deal? You're being kind of weird. He's going to try and make you seem like the crazy one for wondering. Are you? I don't think so. If a man is in a relationship with you, his life is going to reflect it. His heart is going to be open and available. He's going to be pulling you into every area of his life, and that means he'll want to broadcast to the world that you're his. If he's not doing that, it means that you're either not his one and only, or he's still not really sure. Either way, you got to get back in action, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Sign number 3, he's dating other women. He's only into the fun. Guys that aren't interested in deepening the relationship are going to work very hard to de-emphasize the feelings and intimacy that comes in a relationship. That last sentence is really important, so I'm going to say it a little differently. If he doesn't want a relationship, he's not going to treat what you have as a relationship. So he'll probably draw some lines around where he will and where he won't go with what you have together. And most of the time you're going to hear it when he says something like, hey, let's just keep having fun, or let's just keep this fun. When you run into that as a deflection, you know he isn't interested in depth and connection. He's only wanting the fun. Sometimes he'll say this when you're too relationship focused, too early in the relationship. So make sure you haven't accidentally lost that feeling of fun in the relationship, that you really are still fun. And sign number 4, he's not being true to you. He's suddenly tuned into his digital social life. When a guy starts texting, Facebooking, Twittering, Instagramming, and generally just going apeshit crazy over his social media, there's a good chance he's filling a hole inside himself. Now, I'm not going to make the obvious joke here about him filling a hole outside himself. Oh wait, I just did. All puns aside, you do have to take notice if he's texting a lot more or doing a lot more covert stuff on his phone. He's probably engaged on a social level that's feeding a need he's got inside him, and there's a good chance there's another woman at the other end of it. Oh, I'll give you a little bonus here. Sign number 5 that he's seeing other women, you're not his priority. Most of the women I've coached or talked to understand this one almost intuitively. A man makes the woman he loves his priority. He makes her the number 1 thing in his life. And if you're not a priority, you're not his love. Can you beg him to make you his priority? Can you force him to make you his priority? Can you trick him into making you his priority? No. That's the answer. The short answer is no. And as I said before, though, the key here is to get in action. Don't just think that you can cry your way back into a relationship with them. You may want a fulfilling relationship with them, but it doesn't mean it's just going to happen. No, there is no such thing as a magic pill to fix your relationship. There just isn't. But what I do have for you is the next best thing you can possibly use to save your relationship. If he hasn't broken up with you, that means there's hope. Even if he has broken up with you, there's still hope. Mostly because very few women understand there's a loophole in the man's mind. That's right, the male mind has a loophole, which means he's going to be single again. And because most women don't understand men, they usually screw it up with him. So the next woman's going to do it, and that means he's going to be single again and probably wanting to get back with you. So if you want to know how to make him yours, how to really get the kind of relationship that guarantees he won't stray, then you need to know how to make him forever yours. The little link you see below me there, go there. It's going to tell you everything. It's datingadviceguru.com/forever. Open it up on a new tab. YouTube hates it when you leave, so don't leave. Open up a new tab and go to datingadviceguru.com/forever. And don't forget the big three. Number one, like the video. Number two, subscribe so you get them every week. I'm putting these things out faster and faster. And number three, turn on notifications. Notifications let you know when there's a new video out. You got to do that step. It's actually essential. Hey, this is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com/forever. I'll be talking to you again soon. As always, live and love with passion.